morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout-out goes to Pilot Cuber. Pilot Cuber was first to say first in one of my recent videos, and thus was this shout-out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and I have a neat drone for you folks. I like this drone. I'm going to tell you why here shortly, but this is the LSRC XT204 drone. Okay, why do I like this drone? For one thing, it's only about $25 to $30, folks. It's one of the cheapest drones out there that you can get, that you can learn to fly and yet still fly FPV with it. It does have a camera that you can view the video from while flying, but there's something special for this $25 drone. Notice we got brushless motors. This is the lowest cost brushless motor drone that I've seen that's available out there today, folks. It is actually a pretty capable drone. I'll go over here shortly reason why I like it, but let's talk about it. First off, it's a folding drone. Okay, obviously a folding drone, like most drones are today. For portability, it does come with a carrying case to help improve that portability for the drone and its accessories that you put in there. It does have really nice lights on the front of it, actually all over it. Okay, so it has a lot of LEDs on it, so if you want to fly at dusk or just after dark, if you're allowed to in your country, you can do such with this particular drone. Another thing, it only weighs 134 grams. What's that? Why is that important? This drone does not require registration in nearly all countries, except for those that require registration in camera drones. It does have a camera. But why is that important, especially in the U.S.? Come September 16th, those drones that weigh over 250 grams are going to require remote ID along with a trust certificate, along with registration. This drone being under 250 grams does not require registration. You don't need to register it. It does not require doing that trust certificate course. And it does not require remote ID. You can take this out and fly into your park. As long as you're 5 miles away from the local airport, you can fly just about anywhere, okay? Just stay out of the airport airspace is what I'm saying there, folks. So that's another reason this is a biggie. Now, the next thing is, I mentioned, it's only a $25, $30 drone. You don't see the brush motor drones with, or you don't normally see a drone in that price range with brushless motors. Okay, normally you see cheap brush motor drones, which means the motors on those drones normally burn out within the first few uses of a drone. This would last indefinitely unless you crash it and try to fire it up while it's crashed. So you might burn out the electronic speed controllers, but generally, these motors should last the life of the drone a good long time. Additional to those brushless motors, which are 1503 4000 kV, by the way, for those of you who are interested in that sort of thing. In addition to that, this also has an optical flow sensor on the belly. Now, it's a little pinhole camera, so I wasn't expecting much of this being the optical flow system of this, but I've done test flights both indoors and outdoors with this. It works real darn well. I'm surprised how well it works. It even works well when you do yaw turns. Normally, optical flow drones, when you do a yaw turn like that, like this, they go bonkers. This one holds its position. I was shocked. Okay, it actually is a good optical flow drone. In addition, it has altitude hold to help maintain the altitude of the drone. So, in effect, this drone, when you let go of the sticks, it should maintain steady hover. Okay, so, you go outdoors on a slightly breezy day, this still should hold its position, hopefully. Okay, obviously there's going to be a limit to the amount of breeze it'll take, but for most cases, on a nice normal day that you would normally go flying, this holds its position very well. Other things it has, if you notice on the top, it has an obstacle avoidance sensor. Okay, it's a 4-sided obstacle avoidance. However, it's an infrared sensor. Okay, these, on the other hand, do not normally work well. I tried it indoors. It works kind of, but do not depend on these infrared obstacle avoidance sensors to keep you from banging into walls and such. They are not very effective. I'll just say that right now. The laser ones work a lot better than this, but the infrared ones, that's why you see them on a $25 drone. They kind of work, but they're not the best obstacle avoidance sensors that you can get, is what I'm trying to say there. Okay, this drone is powered by 3.7 volt, 1500 milliamp per hour battery. It's supposed to give you up to 10 minutes of flight time. You get an extra battery for $3. So I recommend if you do get this drone, get the extra battery bundled with it. you'll thank yourself. You'll have that extra battery that you might need, if you want to keep on flying. Because you can do such with these brushless motor drones. You can just take out the battery, put a new battery in. Normally you have to wait 15 minutes if you have a brushed motor drone. But brushless motor drones, you can swap out the batteries and go back into the air right away. So yeah, for $3, I recommend getting that extra battery. You will not be able to buy these separately after the fact, after you get the drone. So if you want that extra battery, get it then. Now, this drone uses the app Wi-Fi UAV. That's available in Google Play and in the App Store. And it records video. Now, this is what I got to say here. At a $25 drone, do not expect to get cinematic photography. Okay. That being said, the video from this is relatively good for a $25 drone. It's 1080p video at about 20 frames per second. So there's a lot of jerky frames. That makes it kind of difficult. And also, it's kind of zoomed in. So that also makes it kind of difficult to fly FPV video with this. Okay, you got a zoomed in effect. You're a lot closer than it appears that you're a lot closer than you really are to things, and that sort of makes it hard to fly FPV with. Additionally, this uses 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, which is good in that most people have a phone that's capable of receiving 2.4 gigahertz. But what's bad is this transmitter is also operating. Sorry about that. This transmitter is also operating on 2.4 gigahertz, which causes interference between the drone and the controller, or the drone's Wi-Fi and the controller's signal. So in effect, the FPV video range from this drone is only about 20 to 30 meters. You'll get quite a bit larger control distance from the controller, but the Wi-Fi signal itself is only about 20, 30 meters. So you will not be going out kilometers with this particular drone, and you should not be going out kilometers with this particular drone. It's for beginner flyers. Okay, this is a beginner pilot's drone, a learn-to-fly drone that gives you a taste of FPV video with that camera. Other things, let's see. Now let's talk about that camera. I mentioned 1080p at about 20 frames per second. The photos from it are advertised as 4K and 6K. Okay. Those photos are just frame grabs of that 1080p video that are electronically enlarged, interpolated using the app. Additionally, the price difference between the 4K and the 6K, I think is about like $10 or $5. $5. It's not worth it, folks. That's what I'm trying to say. Get the 4K version, the cheaper 4K version. You'll save yourself $5. Besides, you're not going to be using those frame grabs anyways, those frame grab pictures. It's better to just take the video and take frame grabs off of the original video than use that electronically enlarged, interpolated photos from this particular drone. So let's go over the controller now. I mentioned the controller. Here's the controller. It has a holder for your phone. It is powered by 3 AA batteries, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there they are, the dollar store batteries in there. Dollar Tree. But let's go over the controls on this. This is your rates button. It has beginner, intermediate, and expert rate. You press it once, and each time you press it, it increases the amount of pitch the drone can go, and that increases the speed of the drone. So at higher rates, you have a faster drone, and for beginners, I recommend being in low rate for a slower drone. This button here is calibration. You can calibrate the drone by pressing this button here. I'll show you real quick how to calibrate. Let's turn on that, and you turn on the controller there. And then to bind the drone up and down on the throttle like so, and you wait until the lights stop flashing, and we are bound. Now you can do that calibration I mentioned by pressing this button here. Also, you can calibrate by bringing both sticks down and outboard. Additionally, you can start the motors by bringing both sticks down and inboard. And you can stop them the same way. Or maybe not. You stop them by bringing the stick down. Okay? So that's how you start the motors. You can also do an automatic takeoff by pressing this button here. I ain't going to do that because I'm not done with the review yet. But let's go over the other buttons on this. Okay, I mentioned that's the calibration button. This is the headless mode button. You can press this button here, and the drone will enter into headless mode, and it doesn't matter which way the drone will be pointing. You can push this forward, and the drone, I'll demonstrate it, but it's kind of hard to talk about it. But it doesn't matter which way the drone is pointed. Say it was pointed at takeoff in that direction there, like so, this would always be forward, that direction would always be back, that would always be left, and this would always be right in headless mode, no matter which way the drone is pointed. So that is mainly for beginner pilots that have a problem in orientation. But this particular drone with optical flow, I would skip using this headless mode and just try to manually fly it, because you'll learn a lot more that way, since you don't have to worry about this thing wandering off with its optical flow system. It also has one key return, which you activate by pressing and holding the headless mode button for about 2 seconds. And all optical one key return does is fly the drone the opposite direction it was pointed at takeoff. It is not really a true return to home, in that if you're off to the left, off to the right, or behind you, the drone can actually fly away from you with one key return. So I don't say do not depend on that for bringing the drone home. It has automatic takeoff and automatic landing, which you activate by these buttons here. Additionally, you can adjust the trim on the drone if it's drifting, but it generally doesn't because of that optical flow. But if it does, the first thing I would do is do the calibration. But if it's still drifting, I'd press this button here, which is the trim button, and then you move the sticks in the opposite direction that the drone is drifting. Say if it's drifting to the right, you'd bump the sticks to the left a few times until the drone stops its drift. Then you press that button once again to come out of trim mode. It also has obstacle avoidance. I mentioned you can turn the obstacle avoidance on by pressing this button here and turn it off by pressing it once again. Again, do not depend on the obstacle avoidance, folks. It sometimes works and sometimes doesn't, and I'll demonstrate here down in the basement when I go take it out for a flight. It also has flip capability, which is cool, especially since this is a brushless motor drone. We can do repeated flips without worrying about burning out the motors. That's great. But to activate the flip, you press that button there and then tell it which direction to flip with the right stick. And of course, we have an on-off switch right here. So that's the controller. I'm guessing this will give you about 70 meters of range and 30 meters of FPV range. This particular drone, sorry I bumped the camera. Let's go over what you get in the box. You get the carrying case, you get the controller, which I talked about, you get the drone, you get the instruction manual, which is actually a nice instruction manual for a $25 drone. I'm kind of surprised. You get instruction manual for the Wi-Fi UAV app and where to download it. I also include links where to download it in my video description down below. So for those of you that can't use QR code readers, you can get it down below in the links, or in the comment section, above the comment section, the video description section, sorry. You get 1 or 2 batteries. Again, I recommend getting that extra battery for $3. Just spend it and get that extra battery. You'll be happy. And you get a little charging cable for those batteries. This battery is charged, I forgot to mention that, by a micro USB port. Let me find it. Where are you? Right there. Micro USB port right there. And a little red light comes on when this is charging. And when the charge is completed, the little red light will go off. So, being a relatively small battery, you can actually charge this in your laptop if you wish, or I recommend using a 2-amp wall charger to charge it very rapidly. You also get a spare set of propellers if you want to change any of these propellers, if you dig them up, and you get some spare screws that screw those propellers in place if you do lose the original screws, and you get a little screwdriver to change the propellers. So that's what you get in the box with the LSRC XT204. Again, a neat drone. Let me take it out and let's fly it, and I'll show you why it's neat. Hope you enjoy this flight. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to the Quadcopter 101 indoor flight test facility for the test flight of the XT204. Okay, to turn this on, here's the on-off switch right there. We're going to hold that down until we hear the ESCs chirp, and there they are chirping. And putting the drone on a flat level surface, and then turning on the transmitter, and go up and down on the throttle to bind it to the controller, or the drone to the controller. Okay, we are ready to go. Let's try automatic takeoff. And let's see how well this is holding its position. It's doing it very well, folks. Okay. Now, I'm not using the camera today, or indoors. I'll demonstrate that when we're outdoors. But we're going to focus on the flight ability of this drone indoors. Now, let's rotate. Letting go of the rotate. Let's see if it regains its position. Its hoverability, and it does. Let's rotate again, 90 or 180 degrees. dang good, isn't it? To tell you the truth, folks, I am really surprised how well this optical flow on this works. It's just a little pinhole camera, but it works really, really well. Okay, so I'm turning it around. Now, let's go forward a bit. And from that position there, let's turn on that obstacle avoidance. Actually, go up a bit higher. And then turn on obstacle avoidance. Obstacle avoidance is on. Let's go to the right and see if we can hit the wall. I'm trying to go to the right. Now in obstacle avoidance mode, it's in a very low rate. It's allowing me. So see what I mean? Oh, wait, now it's bouncing off. So, okay, it detected it. Now it won't let me go any farther. Let's go toward that wall. Flying forward. It's letting me get too close. I don't know. See? There. It finally detected it. So see what I mean? Don't trust these obstacle avoidance, especially these infrared ones, because they work, but they might trigger late. Okay? Okay, turning off obstacle avoidance. Coming back over again. Next thing I want to try is come down a little bit lower. Let's try that flip. Whoa, it's come down a little bit lower. Try a backflip. Wow, this does nice flips. Forward flip. Coming back over, and I haven't done a left flip. And bringing it back over again. So yeah, this one's pretty darn easy to fly. I mean, all you need to do is get it in the air and it holds its position. So I like that. Let's go up a bit higher. Let's try its maneuverability indoors. Going to higher rate, second rate. I don't know, I almost got myself there. Let's go back over again. I'm going to third rate. See how fast it turns. That's its rotation in third rate. Going forward, I'm staying slow. And letting go. And it stops itself pretty darn quick. Let's do that again. Letting go. And it stops itself. So again, the optical flow on this is amazing for the price of this drone. Going back to beginner rate, turning it. I mean, it's really, really good, optical flow. And the altitude hold ain't too bad either. Look, it's holding its position pretty darn well. So, okay, that was just a quick demo indoor flying. Let's go around the stanchion like I always do, just to show going around the stanchion. Actually, nicely done. Who makes this? XLRC? But let's come back down. We're going to land it. And we're going to take it outdoors next. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to the outdoor test flight of the XT204. Now, this is the Wi-Fi UAV app available on Play and on the App Store. And I'm going to hit record right now to start recording video. Okay, for takeoff, I'm going to hit this automatic takeoff button. And seeing how it holds its position, it's doing such. Going up forward a bit, and plopping it there. Will it hold its position there? It's doing it. Okay, now, what would be a good use for such a drone as this? I was thinking, you know, with this optical flow system, since it works so well, you could probably use this drone to, you know, check your roof. Let's set it up and take a look at my roof. You know, check the roof, check the gutters. And this is its camera, by the way, for those of you wondering. And let me push forward a bit, and let's go around the park, or not the park, but my local area here, and also hitting higher rate, because there's a bit of a wind up there. Okay, letting go of the stick. Let's see if it will regain its position and stop. And there you go, optical flow kicking in again. So yeah, this has a good optical flow system on it for what it is. Let it drift again with the wind, and then eventually it stops. So let me rotate it a bit from up there, putting it at my house there, and now we'll come down. Now let's try out those flips outdoors, folks.
You can do flips galore with this. You can't do this with a brushed motor drone. The reason being you'll burn out the motors. But since this is brushless, yeah, why not? Toss it. Toss it and turn it. So, okay, I'm going to the highest rate. Let's see what it can do in high rate. Oh, by the way, before we do anything else, let me get some light on me and say, how do you like my shirt today, folks? There's my shirt. Okay, looking at the screen, I can tell you right now, flying FPV with this would be somewhat difficult. Let's see if I can do such around the tree there. See, it's zoomed in picture in effect, so that makes it difficult to fly FPV. Okay, now, coming over here, let's try that headless mode. Oh, that's obstacle avoidance. Obstacle avoidance, I'm sorry, obstacle avoidance is on. Will it work outdoors? I don't think so. Maybe I turned it off. It's on, but it ain't working outdoors, see? Because the sunlight overpowers these IR sensors. So outdoors, this is useless. You know, indoors, it kind of works, but outdoors, not so much. But overall, going back to this drone, this ain't too bad for what it is, okay? It holds its position very well. I'm not doing anything, okay? You know, beginner pilots should be easily able to fly this particular drone with no effort at all because of that, okay? Nice little drone that holds its position very well, okay? Let me get a thumbnail for my video showing it. But, okay, continuing on. Let's turn off that obstacle avoidance. Obstacle avoidance off. When you go to obstacle avoidance, it puts it in real low rate, low, or very low rate. No more flips. So I got a feeling we're getting here. Let's try that again. Flip. Okay, flip's still going. I pressed the wrong button. Let's go to highest rate. Third rate. Trying the maneuverability of this particular drone. Oh, by the way, before we lose battery power, let's stop that video recording and take a photo. And go this way. Pull back. Show my driveway and me and smile. Take a photo. Step back a bit, one more, show my shirt. So those are the photos it takes. And it takes those in 6K, which is just the interpolated of this video. Okay, let me sync this up again. So all in all, not a bad little drone. Very nice beginner drone for beginner pilots. The reason being because of that optical flow system. It actually works. And also because of the brushless motors on this that actually work. Okay. The only thing that don't work, you know, very well is that optical flow. Nah, who really needs it though? I would not recommend relying on optical flow. And also I would not recommend flying indoors a brushless motor drone like I did. These are powerful motors, okay? And it can cause hurt if you run into a pet or yourself or an object, okay? Just let you know. So, okay, going forward again. Nice. It flies very well though. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, I tried to flip. No more flips. So that's telling me we're probably low battery. Let's confirm that with bringing it down and looking to see if the lights are flashing. I can't see the lights in the daylight. Oh yeah, they're flashing. So we'll see what it does when the battery finally wears down. So, oh no, nice little drone. Perfect for beginners. So we'll just fly off, continue flying until it either drops from the sky or lands itself. I'm hoping it lands itself. We're still recording video. Go up a bit and rotate the area. Slowly rotate. I'm trying to slowly rotate. And coming back down. It shouldn't be that high, especially on low battery. Because if it does fall from the sky, it's going to break from that altitude. Oh, there we go. And that's what it does. Okay, stopping the video recording. So, all in all, the XT204, excellent beginner's drone, and the price is right on this. Again, I got the 4 or 6K version. I don't know what the difference is in cameras between the 4K and the 6K, if it's a better camera or not. I doubt that there'll be much improvement between the two, but you never know. So, again, XT204, nice little drone. I like it. So, hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out.
Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.